Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Football Philosophy Podcast. And today we're talking about United. As you know, we're looking ahead to the Europa League, but we might as well start with the breaking news that happened yesterday with Jose Mourinho being appointed the Roma manager. But before I do that, let me just introduce my guests here. With me today are Phantom AFC. Welcome to the show. Arsenal man, Mr. Trey.
What's going on, guys? I know we're losing today, but someone's got to show some passion for this flipping club.
Yes, I like that. Yes, Trey, welcome to the show.
Yes, yours truly, Trey here. Excited. Got the United tee on. Should do a job tonight, man. Let's finish it off. Not done yet.
Yeah.
Let's finish it off.
Yes, Nathan Best back again into the show. Welcome, mate.
Cheers for having me back on. Should be a good show. Yeah,
it's a hat trick.
Hat trick now. I'll walk away with a match ball and everything. Don't worry.
I know. We need to get you one, man. You need to get your proper match ball.
That's it, man. You know, I've been looking forward to this show, man, because since we had Nathan on the show, a lot has happened. Obviously, at the time was the Super League idea for United and Arsenal, all these so-called super clubs. But then we had the protest happening, and we're gonna get into that with Nathan. I wanna hear your thoughts about this. Phantom AFC. I want to hear what your thoughts are about the Kroenke ownership at Arsenal. But before we do that, Jose Mourinho somehow has another job. What do you guys make of it? Just quickly.
Mad. It's a case of like it's a bit weird timing, to be honest, because it's like they've got a second leg of the European semi-final still to play, and it's a case of no one knows what's going to happen in football. We've seen that Roma have in the past. Obviously, they come back against Barcelona. It's not out of the possibility that they could make a comeback tonight. It's just weird timing because unlike when Mourinho's been sacked before, he's not exactly this time around. He's not exactly waiting to get back into the job. Whereas beforehand, obviously, when he got sacked at Chelsea, he waited till the end of the season to get the Man United job. At Real Madrid as well, he sort of left, and a few weeks later, he went to Chelsea. So it's a bit of an immediate turnaround, which is surprising. The club he's going to, for lack of a better word, it sort of represents where Jose Mourinho is now. I don't think he can get a top European elite club anymore. Roma are the sort of club where it's like, I don't know, it's a bit sort of hit and miss, sort of, so to speak. I just find it strange. Yeah. But Italian football might be it. So.
Yeah, Roma haven't been a great club. Like, they haven't competed properly for Scudetto, a top-level European football for 15 years. So that says a lot about the level that he's at. I agree with you, definitely, Nathan. But I don't know about you guys, but I have a weird feeling that this might just be where Mourinho turns it around, where we might even see the Mourinho of old, or might just being sucked back into that, that same, is it Mourinho, like his charm and that fake, personality, and you can say like, like maybe he's changed now, and maybe things have changed. Maybe he's the happy man, just like we've seen at Chelsea, or like we've seen at United when he was trying to rebrand himself, and then he goes to Tottenham. He starts a whole Instagram account just to look like, he can understand the young players nowadays, and then it all went south within like 1 year or 2 years. But there's just a part of me that's feeling like maybe this might just be the place where he turns it around. What do you think about that, Lombe?
You know what? Nathan just summed it up perfectly. He took almost the words out of my mouth. Let me try and analyze this as respectfully as I can to Mourinho, the man who essentially called Arsenal's greatest manager, specialist in failure.
Sorry, there's a sound that's echoing. Who's that from? Is there are we?
Is anyone?
On YouTube?
Trey is probably using. Have you not got headphones, Trey?
No headphones still. Or is it because it's no headphones?
Yeah, maybe I think that's maybe where the echo might be coming from. Oh, that's my guess anyway. But just on that Mourinho point, yeah. While Trey sorts himself out, yeah.
I think
Mourinho.
it's fixed now, by the way. I think it's coming through clearer now. I think it's fixed.
It's much clearer now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think Trey's muted. Yeah, but I was saying, yeah, at the end of the day, I think literally Mourinho being at Spurs and then now at Roma is an indictment of where he is in his career. Because we all know at one point you'd have never joined these clubs. Never in a million years joined Tottenham from Chelsea and Inter and Real Madrid and whatnot. And I don't mean that as disrespect to those teams, but I mean, like, we know how Mourinho is at his best.
Yeah.
And with that said, I'm not sure about his ability to adapt to and accept that if he's gonna coach a team like Roma or Tottenham or those sort of teams from now on that ain't at the top, I don't know how he's gonna make that sort of style work. I can't see him lasting anywhere with much meaning without being at the top. He can't. All the antics that he thrives with all come from his team being at the top and him being at that. I don't know if he can thrive just as a manager now, developmental manager who can take clubs through the stages.
If he can survive like sort of like at the underdog, Mourinho being the underdog, because we haven't seen that since his days at FC Porto. Since then, he's had jobs at Chelsea, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Man United, and then he goes to Tottenham. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking like the expectations are not high. Maybe they don't. Maybe the players will just listen to him. Whatever he says, they will just follow him. Roma. That's what I'm thinking.
I agree with that, but I just on a Porto team, that team was a beast of a machine, but they were the underdog. But it was a fantastic team there, and they would listen to his every word, and they carried out their instructions. Roma, you're not like he needs to have Mourinho at his best. He needs to have an absolute beast of a team, a unit of men. He needs that.
Yes,
I can't picture him thriving without that. So unless Roma really step up to the plate, I just think it's going to end pretty much the same way as Tottenham, in my opinion.
Yeah. What do you think about all of this? Mkhitaryan, exactly. I do feel sorry for him. Yeah. Troy, where do you stand on all of this?
What, the situation with Mourinho?
Yeah, like, do you think he's going to be success at Roma? Because I have this weird feeling that it might just work out for him in there. I don't know. It's nothing to do with logic. It's just a feeling. And I know I get that you can't describe football with just feelings, especially if you're trying to talk about a team that has nothing to do with you. Because I'm not a Roma supporter and I'm not just a Mourinho fan. I'm far, far away from that. But what do you think? Like, do you think it's going to work out, or is it just like another story of like, it's going to go wrong? We all know how it's going to turn out to be.
I think simply it's just going to be a situation where he's got enough opportunity here, so he's going to thrive on it. Italy's a good place for him. The last time he left Inter, he left as a treble winner, so there's not going to be any complaints for him. So the way I see it, it's going to be a fresh new start for him to go and smash it. And with a team like Roma, it looks like they're going to give him the platform to do what he wants. And he's got a sort of good rapport with the Italian faithfuls in Italy anyway. So Roma, a historic club. So let's see what he could do. I think he's going to be given time. He's gonna have the opportunity to prove some doubters wrong. A lot of people think he's finished. So he's got another chance to prove himself against the doubters, of course. So yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, man. All right. I think the only time will tell. We'll see. Maybe in a year's time, I'm going to look so ridiculous saying this. All right. Now, let's move on swiftly, yeah? Because United, guys, you guys know that United are probably halfway there now. Or just pretty much done in the final. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will probably play the kids. But You know, we'll get into United in a little bit, but I want to talk about Arsenal. Look at Lomba's face, man. Yeah, so
misery.
Mr.
You know, this is
Arsenal,
a tough
Mr.
one.
Arsenal, how are you feeling today, man? Like, what Arteta? Yeah,
We've got a tough one tonight.
I feel like muting this mic and going to take a I'm actually dying out here. Like, this is Unai Emery gonna come and dump us out. Revenge. Aubameyang's coming back from malaria, putting all the pressure to him to come back and save us as usual. Lacazette on the bench, no left back, Xhaka at left back, might play Elneny in midfield. My head is just swirling. Stan Kroenke.
Will he even play a striker? Will he even play a striker?
It might be Smith Rowe, false nine. Like, you never know. Arteta. You know, oh man. And then I'm just, do you know what's running through my head? All the consequences of, first of all, the consequences of losing this match. I fear so bad for Arteta because I feel like if he loses this match, the switch is going to flick so fast from the Arsenal fans to Arteta out, like the same way that happened to Emery, because the fans kind of, we saw what we was doing, but there was always that dangerous thing in the background where it's like you still got the Europa, that dangerous thing. Okay, no Champions League football. Okay, you're fifth, you're down the table, but you still got Europa. Like, that still got Europa-ness is just hanging over Arsenal right now. We're ninth as the season's dead. So I'm just like, if we lose this game, Arteta at Arsenal, I don't. There's too much, man. I'll be here forever. But basically, if we lose this game, I wonder what happens, how that affects the Daniel X situation with Stan Kroenke. Because what happens to Arsenal, does Stan Kroenke invest if we lose? Worst case scenario, we lose, we got nothing to play for. Does Stan Kroenke help us invest? Because we need it this summer, or else for next decade, we're done if we don't do it this summer. If we win, does that make Stan Kroenke invest? Because it's like, okay, you got the Champions League money and whatnot. Or does he make the excuse, which has always been making up until this point, which is, oh, okay, we've got Champions League football. You must be on a good way. No need to invest that much.
Yeah. The dilemma, man. Oh, my God. Like, if you guys, obviously, like, you summarized it perfectly. But obviously, for Arteta, this is really big. Nathan, this is make or break for him right now, right? Like, Arsenal fans, I'm sure, like, for me, if I'm not an Arsenal fan, I don't like Arsenal one bit. But even me, I could see something what he was trying to do. But right now, over the last few months, I'm starting to doubt him. I'm thinking, like, maybe he's not what I thought he was at the beginning. What do you think, Nathan?
So the thing is, right, a lot of people sort of suggested that when Arteta sort of took over Arsenal, he's also been sat next to Pep, you know, Pep's right-hand man, so on and so forth, right? But we've also seen in history that being next to a sort of a really successful manager doesn't exactly make you a successful manager itself. You need other qualities. Like, for example, right, what's his name? Mike Phelan tried his hand at management with Hull. You know, he got sacked. Steve McLaren, although he had some moderate success, frankly, he was an absolute waste of space. He never should have been in the England squad whatsoever. But he was next to Sir Alex Ferguson in the treble-winning team. He's obviously, you know, there is a difference between Sir Alex and Steve McLaren. You know, one has an umbrella, one doesn't. But, you know, but it's like, I feel with Arsenal that, like, even if Arsenal, like, for some reason, I have a feeling Arsenal will turn it around tonight. And the reason why is because I think you should have been out in the first leg, not mathematically, of course, but sort of Villarreal should have really put the tie to bed. You were sort of, did you equalise for a penalty? Am I right in saying? Was it a penalty, Pepe?
It wasn't even an equaliser. It was a consolation. It was a.
Oh, yeah. You got back into it, so you left it as 2-1. So you sort of,
isn't it?
But like, you still gave yourself a chance in the second leg. The worry is for for Arsenal, I think, is that obviously with the Spotify bid and stuff like that, it's sort of 1.8 million. I don't think Kroenke is going to budge, to be honest, because I think it's going to be, as we talk about the United owners later on, it's going to be a similar situation to them where you're going to need a mammoth amount of money to sort of take over, right? And it's a case of, will Kroenke sell an asset that's making him money? No. Like, you know, his NFL team, the LA Rams, he's been trying so hard to win the Super Bowl with them, hasn't done it. So he's thinking, right, I'll use Arsenal as a leverage. Oh, look at the money we're making at Arsenal. Do you know what? I'll go and sign the best quarterback, you know, wide receiver, this, that, and the other to help my actual team, you know, achieve something. And then you'll look back and it's like, did you happen to see that it's like a pre-season game, wasn't it? Like he was for Arsenal the American tour. Was it Colorado Rapids or something like that?
Yeah.
And there were some people there that said that he was like sort of leaning forward and edging forward when Colorado won the attack. And it's like, and it's like,
oh my days, yeah.
And it's okay, one's a successful football team, one's a mediocre team in MLS, and this is the one he like favours. But now I think he will turn it around tonight. I think with Arteta though, I think a lot of smoke was blown around him because he was Pep's right hand man. I genuinely don't think in a minute we've seen anything from him that shows that he's a good manager. Like, at least with Solskjaer, you can tell over time he has. He's shown in certain periods and stuff like that. Whereas Arteta, I've yet to see nothing from him, I'm afraid.
I know Lombe Phantom.
I've got a lot to say against that.
I know you do. I'm gonna get into that.
I want to hear what Trey says. Yeah.
I want to bring Trey into this, and then I'm gonna come back to Lombe because I want to see you guys having this debate. Nathan versus Phantom AFC debate, man. But Trey, let's hear your thoughts about this first.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a referee for that fight anyway, man. You know, when that debate happens in it, so I'm gonna love that.
Special ref, mate. Special referee.
Special ref, man. So I'll slide in the chair for Nathan a few times, innit? But no.
Oh,
but yeah, you know what? Napoli, Arsenal, Moose. He said it best. Europa out tonight. It's an important game for Arsenal. It's the most important game of the season. It's the most important game for Arteta. Now, literally everything is riding up to this point because the start of the season, when Arsenal won the FA Cup, the whole objective and the next sort of step was to qualify for the Champions League. But obviously during the league, it hasn't worked out the best for him. So this is literally the last opportunity for these guys to get Champions League football. And Villarreal, it's a difficult contest because it's Emery. Emery's won the trophy, I believe, 3 times. He's experienced. He knows what to do in these sort of situations. Whereas Arteta, he's essentially a novice in situations. So it's a tough game, but I'm not going to lie. I have to disagree with Nathan. I'm expecting them to be out, if I'm honest with you. I think they're going out tonight.
See, I try to be positive, yet you're the one picking a problem with me. So I'm like, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so Lombe, you're the Arsenal fan in here. Try to summarize for us, because every time that I speak to Arsenal fans, majority of them are now saying Arsene Wenger wasn't the problem. Owner Emery wasn't the problem. The owners, they blame the owners. And Arteta somehow seems to be getting away with a lot of things. But is that down to the fans finally realizing that the owners are the problem here? Or is he conning people? Is he a con artist here? That's what I want to understand here.
Do you know what? Yeah, Trey has known me for long enough in this podcast. He's known me for nearly a decade now, and I've been talking about Stan Kroenke, with a passion,
He has.
For years. People are calling me crazy. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is the response that I've been getting when I've been speaking about Stan Kroenke. But finally, people are starting to realize what I've been saying. But put this guy to the side, because I can't donate any energy to this man. I'm telling you, we'll turn sour in here. I despise Stan Kroenke with everything, in every single fiber in my body, what this guy's doing to my club. But let's put him to the side, right? Arteta. I personally, I'm not, yeah. I'm not really Arteta in or out. I'm really not. I really believe that this is the phrase that's gonna piss off everybody, but I think he's learning on the job. And what a year that we've dashed him into. What a period in our history that we've dashed a guy in to learn on the job. That's Stan Kroenke for me. Like, for him to identify this situation and be like, okay, we've just moving on from Arsene Wenger. Unai Emery couldn't do it, yeah, in his competition. So what do we do next? Let's hire a novice to start a project, right? Okay, now that's what we've done essentially. We've started a project. So we've essentially accepted that this is gonna take time. Right? That's our decision. We said, you know what, let's devise a project, and who we're gonna do it with? A novice. That's Stan Kroenke right there, all over. Okay, so that's one.
Okay.
Two, yeah, I think I disagree with Arteta hasn't shown himself to be the guy who was working next to Pep. To a certain extent, I agree with that, but to a certain extent as well, like I've said, the circumstances that have been put on Arteta, in my opinion, 80% of it would have happened to no matter what manager you could have put in this team, because it took balls to drop Ozil, take him out the squad. That looks vindicated right now. Since basically all the really red flag glaring mistakes were done before December, before that Chelsea game. Since that point, nobody's gonna say it, or nobody seems to see it this way. Only maybe it's just me going crazy. But I think we have improved in every single area, and every single time a manager tries to produce any flexibility with this team, it crumbles. The fact that since Wenger was here,
yeah,
since Xhaka and Mustafi came in, we've been shooting ourselves in the foot for 90% of the time since Xhaka and Mustafi have come in. It's been Arsenal shooting themselves in the foot. And no matter what manager you're going to have, as long as these players, this core group of players don't change, that's not going to change. You could have Pep Guardiola in charge. You could have Klopp. You could have Solskjaer. Luiz is still going to David Luiz. Xhaka's still going to Xhaka. El Neni's still going to not pass forward. You need to replace these players. End of story. The players that Arteta has bought haven't cost us. Maybe apart from Willian. But that's neither here or there. But I could go on for ages. But I'm just like, the summer. The summer is what I'm looking for me to find out the truth about Stan Kroenke and what he wants to do with Arsenal. This summer will reveal all, because now is the checkpoint that we've been waiting for post-Wenger. All of our players' contracts expiring, and it's time to rebuild. No matter what happens, whether you lose tonight or you don't, this is the point, Stan Kroenke. If you're going to sell Arsenal, this is probably the point when it's got its highest value. For you to maintain the value of Arsenal or increase it, you're going to have to invest to make us better. So it's like there's a lot going on in my brain right now. But
invest or sell. Invest or sell. Yes.
I agree. You agree with what you're saying in terms of the investment part. But what I disagree is the value of Arsenal. Like right now, the sort of analogy I would describe Stan Kroenke to being in this situation is, it's like we've got a house. Let's say you've got a house, an investment in, I don't know, Manchester, for example. That's your investment. That's generating you income. You're happy. There's another person that's inquiring about it. You don't have to sell it. You didn't put in a market for sale. So I'm not going to sell it at a value which I feel, like what Nathan's saying, unless a big offer comes in, not 1.8, but I'm thinking more of the region of possibly 3 upwards. I don't see Stan Kroenke even listening to any offers. 1.8, no, that's a laugh in the face. Because at the end of the day, think about it. This guy is generating money from Arsenal. Especially, he's probably thinking by the time fans come in, look at the season ticket holders. Look how much they're going to be spending. 850 minimum for the season. So times that by the capacity of the stadium, how much is he going to be generating? Come on, you got to think numbers, man.
Okay.
I agree with that. Sorry, last question. I want to ask you this then,
Yeah, go for
Trey,
it. Go
'cause
for it.
I agree with that, what you've just said. But then now that you're holding onto your house or your investment that is now yours because the guy didn't offer enough. So you're like, okay, sorry, can't do business, right?
Yeah,
I don't want to sell.
yeah.
Okay, so now what you're going to do with Arsenal Football Club? Now that you're keeping it, yeah, are you just keeping it for the sense of just, yeah, I've got this in my portfolio for clout? Or are you literally going to do anything at all that endears Arsenal fans to the team? Anything at all? Keeping your investment, yeah, because at the end of the day, I get your analogy about the house, but there's no customers. We're the look at me. Like, what are you gonna do to gain my trust back now? Because at the moment, we're 0%.
The owners don't care about this. You already know that Stan Kroenke does not care about Arsenal. But Nathan said it best. He's got his American team, which he's focusing on. He's using the funds from Arsenal to fund into that team.
So how am I supposed to blame Arteta? Basically, I'm asking Arteta to save us. I'm asking a novice to save me from my owner.
Yeah, but I will say though, like tactically speak, like the on-field decisions at times, it's like the other week when he played a false nine because he saw that Pep played a false nine sort of thing, and I can't remember was it against Villarreal in that first leg where he did that.
Semi-final.
It didn't work out. And I know you said about learning on the job and stuff like that, but I think with Arteta, I think he's now really being tested because when he first came in, obviously he won the FA Cup, won the Community Shield. Obviously, depends on how you value the Community Shield. You either count it or you don't. You know, it's basically a glorified dinner tray lifted up in the air, but still, you know what I mean. But basically, it's a case of so he won the FA Cup stuff like that. But then now is the real test. Arteta, if I actually look at it really deep, he's actually similar in a way. A similar position to what Solskjaer was during his first season, during the first part of that first proper season he had. Because obviously, people called him for Solskjaer's head when he was 14th and stuff like that. When we had a midfield of Fred, Matic, Lingard, Andres, Pereira. You know what I mean? It's like I agree with a certain point where it's like you can only do what you can with certain players in your team because obviously investing 300k into Willian's obviously never going to work out well. You know. But then you do look at it and think, in-game management on the tactical decisions he makes at times, it does make you question whether he is the right person for the job. And someone said there about bringing Brendan Rodgers, but it's like, if you look at Rodgers at Leicester have got the perfect recruitment in place. They know where to go out and find these players in and around. So then you've got to think whether Brendan Rodgers can actually go to somewhere like Arsenal, where probably the recruitment's definitely not going to be as good as Leicester, which sounds really, really bad from a top club point of view. You know, that your team's not, your recruitment's not as good as Leicester's. But then also you do question whether Brendan Rodgers.
I will spit blood on the floor at that, what you just said. Like, we've gone from Arsene Wenger identifying talents, being ahead of the market to this. But carry on.
Well, you know, it is what it is because it's like Leicester, is the reason why they are where they are now because they can literally do what the big clubs should realistically be doing, finding these players from teams that you never really look at because they know they can find more hidden gems than anyone. But yeah, I'll kind of back over to you.
But you see, do you know what? Yeah, the one thing I'll give Arteta the benefit of. Okay, to be fair, I disagree with what he done against Villarreal, but it happened to be typical of Arsenal's season as well. The point when Aubameyang and Lacazette are both injured, that just had to happen. And then on top of that, he tries the false nine system, and it didn't work. But then we didn't lose that match because we played a false nine. We lost that match because we were terrible at the back, as usual. Xhaka at left back. What Arsenal, even this solution of Xhaka at left back, it's. Do you know what I'll say about Arteta? I'll say there are some things which I look at, which people question, where I'm like, from a coaching point of view, some of these things, they make sense. They would work with better players. But literally, if you try any sort of complex system with any advanced way of playing, these players are not capable. Like, how basic do you have to play? We aren't Everton. We don't have Calvert-Lewin up front. We can't play back-to-front football. We're Arsenal Football Club. So I get the Ancelotti thing and whatnot, but I mean, we ain't in the same. The expectation is not the same, and the way we have to play football isn't the same either. Arsenal have to play a certain way. You can't just come in here and, I don't know, this isn't disrespect, because I think Everton have got a good team, but get Decore, get what's his name, and then play back-to-front football to Calvert-Lewin. We're never going to play like that. And if Ancelotti was at Arsenal, he wouldn't be playing like that. He'll be playing a different way. Who knows what Ancelotti would have done if he was here? He probably would have brought back Ozil, which wouldn't have done, like, or another manager or whatever other manager might have brought back Ozil, not had the balls to do this, not have signed Aubameyang, not have signed Saka up. How come Saka, Martinelli, Aubameyang are all signing contracts under Arteta? He won the FA Cup, but it can't just be because of that. Like, there's things which I can see Arteta needs help. You see that setup that Nathan just said at Leicester? Yeah. There's a setup. Like I've been saying it the whole day in the group chat today, if you've seen. There's a setup that if you're a good manager, you go to a good setup because you know I can thrive there. Or if they're building it, you get the assurances to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to walk into, and within 1.5 years or 2 years, this is what's going to be around me, right? But at Arsenal, if you're like this Moose, me and him been going back and forth, as you know as well in the group chat.
Yeah, that's, by the way, Moose, that's the one that's saying bring Rodgers into Arsenal. Arteta has underachieved with this current team. Yeah.
Do you really think like we can get Simeone or Rodgers or Allegri or whatever of these managers, the way we're operating like this? Do you think these guys will look at us and be like, it's just what, and the fact, and again, it comes back to the point, the fact that we have Arteta in charge is typical Stan Kroenke. Like that is like, who did that? Like, who actually did that? Who said, my investment, my billion investment, if Daniel Ek is going to take this investment from me, he's going to take 3-4 billion. No. Yeah. Okay, so who am I going to appoint to run my asset? Arteta. And then not back him. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm taking crazy pills here, but sorry guys, man. I don't want to take off all the focus now.
It's depression.
It's good to hear. Brilliant. It's good to hear. Yeah. It is actually good to hear, because the passion, just to see the passion in your face, man. I don't know how it feels, but look, man, I understand where you're coming from.
I'm seething. Seething, I'm telling you, at this club, seething.
No, it's brilliant. Like what we want to see is the proper reaction from fans, and I can tell. You know, Nathan, I know Phantom, and we speak all the time, like on Snap, on the group chat, and you can always see the passion in him. And when fans like that are feeling like they're being left behind by their own owners, that their own owners never speak to them, never appreciate them, never show that they actually understand, never bring them into decisions. We are talking about Kroenkes, we're talking about the Glazers, we could be talking about the FSG. Now, I want to hear your thoughts about what has been happening at United so far, and we're going to get into the Roma game in a little bit. And I know Nathan has got work, so he's going to leave us a little bit soon. But yeah, I want to hear your thoughts about the United protests and what next for United fans right now, because the game got cancelled. The biggest game in English football gets cancelled. What next for United? What can the fans do to make sure that their voices are being heard even further now?
I don't know, because I think as with everyone got caught up in a process about how great it was, stuff like that, and no one actually sat there and thought about, okay, what happens now, sort of things. Like with any event, you get caught up with it, and then about 2 days later, you literally sat there questioning, what now? In all honesty, it's going to sound really negative. I don't think it changes much in the long run. And the reason why is because you can protest in the ground, you can do this, that, and the other, but the Glazers have not been at the ground for over 10 years. So there's no, like, unless they were there seeing it take place, you're not going to get any sort of, notoriety from it. I think the only person that would have been there, but he probably wasn't there on the day. Obviously, Woodward's still there to the end of the season. But, he's hardly going to report back saying, oh, the fans are broken into the ground, because the Glazers would probably turn around and think, oh, my God, have they broken into Tampa Bay Stadium? They wouldn't actually think it's Man United's ground they're breaking into.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't think it changes in the long. I think this, because when football fans are back next season, they know, the owners know, and this isn't just a Glazer thing. This is FSG, Kroenke, obviously Tottenham's owners. Every owner in the Premier League know that they're getting a substantial amount of increase next season in money and revenue because fans are back. So in the Glazers' perspective, they're not going to care. They're not really going to care that fans protested, because they're going to turn around and go, well, half of these people on the pitch are going to be sat in the Stretford end next season. Do you know what I mean? So unless you really make a stand and you either there's a major change of cancelling these season tickets, or I've seen the thing about boycotting like sponsorships and stuff like that. Say not investing in Adidas products and stuff like that. Unless you hit them there where it hurts. Because on the day the Super League got announced, Liverpool's watchmaker immediately pulled out of the sponsorship and stuff like that because of fan backlash and whatsoever. So unless you hit them, nothing's going to change. Because you got to think that this isn't, like, I also found over the weekend, just a completely different point, that you found out who the real football people and who the businessmen are in the world of media as well.
Yes.
Neville and Carragher are the football men. Simon Jordan, and for some reason Graham Souness acts like talks business perspective. Although Souness has got,
Genius.
but Souness has got
Alan Shearer as well.
But Souness has got a bit of cheek to talk, because he stuck a Turkish flag in the middle of the ground of Galatasaray Fenerbahce game. It's like, you're not all about football, pal. And he was talking about how United fans are already protesting because it's, because they're not winning anything. Whereas back in 2010, when Beckham wore the green and gold scarf, United just won 3 league titles in a row, being the 2 Champions League finals, won one of them. So it's not because United aren't winning anything. I see with the Kroenke, like, to compare the situations is a bit different, but slightly different in a way with Kroenke and Glazer. Kroenke, I don't think Arsenal not in any debt for what I can recall, are they? Like, are they in any debt, or are they...
that debt was done time ago. 0% investment, though.
Thanks to Arsene Wenger's work a lot.
You're debt free with no investment. You're not been in debt since 2005. Yes, it's been investment, but it's not their money. It never has been their money. It's basically
never their money. Yeah.
No, but
in
terms of what happens now, I think it was a bit stupid for them to announce the fixture rearrangements, because I think gave indication to every United fan of going, okay, right, protest there, protest there, protest there. We'll get that game called off. So it was basically like a big alarm bells ringing in my head, thinking, we're not going to get the season finished, are we, if all those fucking fans turn up? But now, in terms of what happens next, I don't know. I applaud the fans so much for protesting. Obviously, you're always going to get the minority that outweighs the majority in terms of obviously violence and stuff like that, and the media are waiting on that, because it just paints a narrative about football hooligans and stuff like that. But all football fans are hooligans. Look at them protesting, causing violence, and so on and so forth. But in terms of what happens next, I don't know. Unless you hit the sponsors, nothing will change. You see what the Sky reporters are asking Avram Glazer, are you going to sell the club and stuff like that? And he looked like someone who was busking in Manchester by the way he was dressing, for a billionaire. Do you know what I mean? So, but other than that, I don't know what's going to happen. It's a positive step, but it's definitely. Again, you don't know. So that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen, and like you said, we have to hit them where it hurts, and that's season tickets, that's sponsors, and I've seen people leaving, negative reviews on, for example, some of United sponsors, like on TripAdvisor. I think if you get any negative reviews on TripAdvisor and it's like millions and millions of bad reviews, that is really bad. And before, what they used to tell their sponsors was, "Oh, it's just a couple of fans, few fans being angry. Just ignore them. You guys have global fans that are following us." But now even the global fans are turning against the Glazers themselves, not just the people who live in Manchester, not just the people who go to Old Trafford. So I'm seeing a lot of momentum being built right now. Nathan, how long are you going to be with us? Or
Probably about another 10 minutes, to be honest. Because I got to go.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Yes, I'll come back to you with another question. Trey, what's your thoughts about this? Like, what can fans do next to make sure that their voices are being heard even more?
Just firstly, I've just got to agree with Nathan. Credit to the fans for protesting. It would have been a tremendous opportunity to be out there with the rest of the United fans and to just essentially put our message. And look, it's been an ongoing issue. Let's just put this out there. Like Nathan said, it's been going on for too long. It's not the same situation as Arsenal with the Cronkies. What obviously the Glazers would do is they would sort of, what's the word? Every now and then they'll be like, "Ah, here you go, you can take this player," or "Oh yeah, here you go, take 100 million," or do you know what I mean? They'll now and then we'll get the players that we'd obviously want. And in my personal opinion, and this could be a controversial one, I think the Glazers will not sell, not for now. In the summer, we're going to get Jadon Sancho. That's going to be their way of saying, "Look, fans, here's the player that you wanted. Here you go." And they're going to hope to get us to shut up for a few months or so. That's what I honestly think. But I think what we should do, just as fans, is just keep pushing out the message. Glazers out, and let's just hope in the long run that eventually United get to a point where we attract certain owners, certain entrepreneurs who want to obviously invest in United. Similar to Arsenal's situation right now, they've got someone potentially who loves the club. Regardless of what happens in that situation, he will try to buy Arsenal. I'm going to just say it this way. He's going to buy Arsenal regardless. He's going to try
Daniel
his
Ek,
best.
yeah?
Yeah, he's going to try his best. He's going to try his best. He loves Arsenal. You can see it. He's trying to get the sort of ex-players on board to help this happen. But it's just a situation where we would need that sort of thing to happen for us in order for the Glazers to eventually sell. But for now, what I think, just to summarize, is in the summer, we're going to get the player that we want. We're going to get Jadon Sancho. It's going to be their way of saying, "Here, fans, hopefully you can forgive me. Here's the player that you wanted." Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you guys understand where I'm coming from on that.
You know what? Yeah, this was going to be my question for Nathan. This is why I want to bring you in. You look at United right now, where United are, is way better than where they've been in so many seasons since Alex Ferguson has left. We are due to finish in top 4 again for the second season in a row. That hasn't happened since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. And you look at also United were due to play against Liverpool, who are a team who are having a bad season, terrible season, and United could have actually, we could have destroyed them 3-0, 4-0, or whatever. United, that could have been an easy win for United because Liverpool are not having a good season, and they could have killed all their hopes of finishing top 4. But yet they decided to abandon that game in the hopes of getting these guys out. So we'll just sign Jadon Sancho or Jack Grealish or Haaland. Will that make the fans a little bit calmer? What do you think, Nathan?
Well, here's the thing. It's all about a PR, it's all about PR for these owners and stuff like that. Because you notice that a day after the protests happened, immediately it was like, "Oh, Ronaldo's interested in a return to Man United."
Yeah,
and you could that's immediately been fed by the club. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of, and it's like, the news about Sancho coming out as well. It's like, "Oh, look, we've got an app now," and it's like, thing is, buying sort of these players, stuff like that. Yeah, as a fan, you may want them, but I don't think you. The thing is, I think United fans are sort of, I wouldn't say let the Glazers off for all this time, but I think, say, when the shiny new toy comes in, they sort of forget. Like, I think with every fan and stuff like that, because I think, say, when Arsenal signed Aubameyang, for example, I think sort of maybe those things about getting Kroenke out sort of evaporate, because like, oh, look, we've got a world-class striker, like, you don't need to process stuff like that. But I think a good thing to do will be, say if United do sign Sancho, on a daily announcement, or say a couple of days after, still protest. Say, like, it doesn't matter who you sign, damage is done. The damage was done, obviously, when they tried the Super League. The damage was done when they first took over the club. The damage was done when they decided to replace Cristiano Ronaldo with Michael Owen. That's that's a good start. But I don't think necessarily. I think signing shiny toys is sort of because they know fans are easily pleased. Football fans are so easily pleased. If United sign Sancho, you'll be happy. If United sign, there's the talks of Varane, for example. If United sign, say, Sancho and Varane, everyone's going to be like, oh, okay, here we go. And then when things go wrong next season, it's going to go back on the Glazers. It's going to go back. It's a vicious cycle. Unless you have
I agree with you. You know what, Nathan? One more question for you. Now, we know that they're not going to sell the United. We just know that they're not going to sell the club. What can they do to make the fans there's never been a relationship anyway, so there's nothing to rebuild. The way they, like you said, the way they bought the club was absolutely wrong. So there's absolutely nothing to rebuild. But how can they make the fans sort of like just appreciate what they are as owners? What can they do? What can they offer to the fans?
Well, the thing is, Chelsea announced their thing about having sort of fans on board meetings and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people sort of bought into the hype that that's if it's going to change anything. At the end of the day, it's still going to be down to one Russian billionaire to make the decisions. It doesn't matter who's on the board. It doesn't matter who's on, like, these people and the board members who are already there. They're going to have more of a say than, Gary, age 45, who's been to a game like every season. Do you know what I mean? It's, I think on a United perspective, I don't think they're going to have communication with the fans because, I mean, it's taken them, 15, 16 years and they've not even attempted it. However, it's doing things, say, like, for example, just like showing that you do at least have some care in the product you have. For example, like Old Trafford, despite its sort of grunge and sort of Sky Sports photography, it is an estate. If you've ever been to the ground and stuff like that, going to the ground, it's like, you don't want to, sometimes you don't want to be in there. You walk up about 16 flights of stairs, you think you're doing like a trip up Mount Kilimanjaro for comic relief or something like that. You know what I mean? It's absolutely like incredibly difficult. Having, say, standing sections in the ground or, singing sections in the ground, because there's only certain places or certain areas in the ground where you can actually start those off. If not, or if you stand up, stewards immediately tell you to sit down. So like for a big game and stuff like that, if you start standing up and stuff like that, the stewards are like immediately sit down. It's sort of little things like that.
Mm-hmm. What about maybe making the prices, smaller or cheaper prices for anything that's in the season ticket or?
No, I don't think. I think with the constant money being pumped into the Premier League, I don't think they can really afford to sort of do that. Because I think with the Bundesliga and stuff like that, I don't know if you saw the quotes from Bayern Munich's chairman.
Yeah, what did he say? I must have.
He turned around and said like, they could charge. So they charge around. I think it's like 150, say, euros, 150 pounds for their season ticket, and like you think about you're watching probably the best team in Europe, arguably, obviously along. I don't want to mention the other team in Manchester, but we'll forget that part. But he said about they could charge like £200 more to make it like seem more aesthetic with the Premier League stuff like that. But then, what's £200 when the football's supposed to be the fans? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Football's supposed to be for the fans. What's £200 and stuff like that? Say if we sign a play, say if we did transfer negotiations, what's 1 or 2 million? You know what I mean? It's like, it's that sort of thing. But prices won't drop unless well, there has been sort of over the years. There's been sort of a thing where like a campaign to get like away day prices capped. You know, say the 30 quid campaign and stuff like that to get away tickets capped at £30. But in terms of home tickets, stuff like season tickets, they know that Manchester United is a brand, so they'll franchise that as much as possible. It's an entity worth over $5 billion. You're not gonna sort of cap the prices anytime soon. But yeah, unless they sort of make subtle changes to sort of say if they appease the fans, say if it's renovating the stadium or producing a better, like, you ever had that thing where like you don't really go to a game, but you go for the match day experience? Do you know what I mean? It's like say if you go to say if you go to somewhere like Crystal Palace, right?
Yeah.
Selhurst Park, you get more of a sort of community feel.
It's proper.
If you go to a lower league ground, there's stuff in and around the stadium and stuff like that makes you feel part of the community. You go to Old Trafford, there's people just selling scarves. It's a pure merchandise-driven field. And it's probably the same at Arsenal as well, because like Arsenal season tickets are like over £1,000.
Don't get me started on that. But I completely agree with what you're saying here, by the way.
Yeah, it's like you go for you go to watch you support your team, but you've also got to go for the experience. If you go there just to support your team, if you sat there for 90 minutes, done, dusted, out. You need something, say, when you finish the game, oh, what do you want to do? Oh, there's some stuff outside, know what I mean? Go take your kids, go do this, that, and the other. Have it more as a match day experience rather than just going watching 90 minutes of football where, it'll go either way. So that's my thoughts.
That's why you got to give Daniel Levy credit for the stadium that Spurs have created. Like, obviously, I know they're a competitor of Arsenal, but if you look at the whole experience, I've been there. They've got the bar area. They've got this experience where you go on the rooftop and all of that.
Yeah.
They've created a massive match, not even just a match day, just a stadium experience in general.
Yeah. Just quickly, the match is about to start in the next 40 minutes. And Nathan, just quickly, what's your prediction for today? It looks like Oli has gone with a strong team here. He started with Mason Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, and really?
I heard Van der Beek's on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I must be looking at the wrong team then. All right, just quickly, yes. So let's talk about the United Roma game. I know Nathan is about to leave us, and then we'll continue talking about Arsenal and Lombe's, nightmare. Yeah. So Nathan, let's hear.
I'm avoiding I'm avoiding the starting lineup, mate, until the stream's over. Yeah. I don't want you to see my reaction to fucking Chambers and fucking Xhaka at left back.
Yeah. Well, what's your prediction? Obviously, the easy game.
I think. Obviously, effectively ties done, but you don't want to rest on your laurels. Obviously, I mentioned earlier about how Roma, they obviously pulled out a couple of years back, come back against Barcelona when they 4-1 down in the Champions League. You know what I mean? It's a better competition than the Europa League. That's why United want to be there next season in the Champions League. I think if United get you don't want Roma to come flying out of blocks, because if they score twice in the first, say, half an hour or twice in the first 45 minutes, it creates a panic. And you don't want panic considering this team under Solskjaer has not reached the final yet. So you want to sort of put those nerves at ease and sort of, carry on forward. I think if United do get a goal in the first half, the tie's done. I think if he's gone with a strong lineup, he knows that, Roma will come flying out of the block. And to be honest, Roma first leg, I did not reckon much to them at all, because I think the only reason why they really got back into it is because of the Pogba handball, which shouldn't have been a handball anyway, because you can't slide tackle with your arms like that, like a penguin.
We're going to have to be slide tackling like this nowadays, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you slide tackling, use your whole body, because you can't, it's, if your arm's up in the air, your arm's up in the air, you can't move that move that arm if the ball was clipped against you. It's and obviously we let United let Roma back into it. Other than that, I didn't reckon much terms. I reckon United are through tonight. I got a funny feeling, like I said earlier, it will be an all-English final in the Europa League as it is in the Champions League, which is strange, really, because you think, like, if you'd have said that at the start of the season, it'd be an all-English final in both European competitions, right?
Yeah,
the two clubs with two of the biggest histories, stuff like that, are in the secondary one rather than the first one.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean?
I know.
So it's such a flip round in the world of football compared like 15 years ago. 15 years ago, if United
then we have this is the perfect example, isn't it? If Arsenal actually do go through today, and obviously United looks like it's going to happen, this is the perfect example of owners who care about their football clubs, who invest billions in there, and owners who don't care, simply, who are never there, who never watch their clubs play. It's the perfect example. Now, the people who care about their club are in the Europe and the Champions League final, and the people who don't care about their club and only care about their portfolio and what their club means in terms of financial being, then they're in the secondary competition. This competition is not where United should be. It's not where Arsenal should be. But this is where they find themselves in a Europa League semi-final in May. It's just unacceptable. Where United and Arsenal always used to compete for titles and trebles, and now you see in here, man.
I've got to head off. So
sorry, man. We've kept you so long, but you've been brilliant. Thank you so much. You've been on top form.
We've hanged on to you for so long. I love it.
Thoroughly enjoyed it all.
It's good speaking to you, lads. I feel I'll come on again next time you're on and stuff like that. I'll see you
always,
man. Cheers, mate. Yeah, nice to meet you, bro.
Yes, here we go now, Lombe. We're gonna get to Arsenal now. Did you see this? Yeah, because I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen the starting lineup. Let me have a look at it. I'll leave it in the background here. Okay.
Yes. So, Arsenal fans, get involved in the comments. What are you expecting today? Like, we need to hear your thoughts about this game.
Okay. So Leno, I'm seeing Leno
in goal.
Bellerin,
Okay.
Bellerin holding Mari, Xhaka left back.
Yeah.
Partey, Smith Rowe, Odegaard in midfield. So 4-3-3. Saka, Pepe, Aubameyang. Tierney on the bench. Laka on the bench. Martinelli on the bench.
Aubameyang playing on the left.
No. It's up front. Pepe and Saka either side of it.
So it looks like Aubameyang was obviously starting. So he hasn't gone a strikerless again. It looks like Xhaka is playing. Pablo Mari is back. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Rob Holding.
Yeah.
Smith Rowe, Odegaard. Oh wow, Odegaard.
No Luis. No Luis.
Got his hamstring against Newcastle.
So I mean, is this it, man? Is this it? Like for Arteta? Let me, because I don't know. I do. This is what I'm thinking about this game. Yeah, I look at Villarreal and I look at Arsenal. Villarreal are not a good team if they'll just let Arsenal attack them and they think like, let's hang on to this 2-1. And let me say this, the Arsenal Villarreal game last week it showed me exactly why Emery didn't work at Arsenal. He had you guys, in that first half.
Unbelievable. He done an Emery on Arsenal and saved us. He took the striker off and put Coquelin on at half time.
Oh my God. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking now. If he plays with that same energy, if he asks his players to play with that same energy that they did in that first half, and they don't let Arsenal attack them, they've got a chance. But if they just sit back, you guys are too fast for them. It's the same thing that happened with United and Roma. United players were just too fast for Roma players, and we just threw them, tore them apart. I don't know. I can see you guys winning this game, like especially if you just keep attacking them because they can't hang on to it.
Can I just say something? Yeah. Apparently, I saw a stat today that Emery is won like 21 out of 21 games leading up to a final. So he's never lost a Europa League game leading up to a final.
Wow.
The only time he lost in his entire time as a manager was that Baku. So basically that 1-0. So basically that 1-0 victory was another addition to that long record that he's got. Never lost, never drew. wins all the way. So that's the
Unbelievable.
omen. Arteta has to basically overturn him in his first ever semi-final of the biggest competition of his managerial spell to this day. So when I say there's a lot going on in my brain, this has to be the performance of the season from Arsenal, because we can still win this game and go out. What Arsenal have to do essentially is score 2 minimum without reply. Minimum 2 goals. 3 goals if you want to be safe. And even at that might not be safe. We have to do a madness today, Arsenal. And I've said it to you all along, Trey, man. I'm just waiting for the summer, because at the end of the day, every single game, post the group stage, when we had Dundalk and flipping Solskjaer's old team, Mulder and the other team, the pub teams, right? Post the group stages, every single game in the Europa League up to now has been heart palpitations like this. Like suffering, like you have to do it through the skin of our teeth. Someone gets sent off, someone give away a goal, and then we have to do it the long go to take the North Circular. Arsenal are just with Arsenal. This club's gonna kill me. Even now, if we get to the final today, it's guaranteed heart palpitations, guaranteed. And if we get to the final against Man United, I'm just gonna be carcass on the floor.
You never know. In a final, anything can happen. Trey, what's your thoughts about this? Can you see Arsenal going through today, or will Unai Emery be punishing Arsenal fans for the way they treated him? All those good evening memes, they made fun of him.
Yes, no, you know what? It's a 50-50 game. I've said it a few times. It's redemption for Emery. So for Arteta, it's the biggest game of his managerial career. They have to produce a perfect game. So essentially, like what Lombe is saying, they need 2 goals without any reply. Even a win, it's not even good enough. Like, let's say, for example, if it's 2-1, what do they still go through, right? If it's like 2-1.
If we win 2-1, it goes extra time, and then away goal rule becomes I can't do that. I can't.
It's risky. It's a risky game, but just based on your team, obviously it looks like Arteta's finally using his head, putting Aubameyang through the middle. Because me personally, and this is where he sort of shot himself in the foot. Playing Aubameyang on the left, I'm not a fan of that, if I'm honest with you. I think he's a striker. He's fast. He's obviously athletic, but putting him on the left hand side, for me, it's not the one, man. Play him through the middle. You've got Pepe. You've got Saka. They're the wingers. Let them do the job. You've got Smith Rowe. You've got Odegaard. You've got these players that can occupy and supply the ball to your strikers now. Now you've got the platform, and Aubameyang has the platform now to score. So, like I said, it's in Arsenal's hands. If Arsenal do not do the job, it's their fault. That's my thoughts about the game.
You're muted, Abdi.
Yeah, I just realized it now. No, when we're talking about sensible fans like Lombe, he's gonna give him a chance until next season. He's gonna wait and see if he's actually supported by Kroenke.
Yep.
But other fans that we personally know, they might not give him that time. They might not see exactly the difficulties that he's having. So this is a really crucial game for Arteta. It's
Europa out. It's Europa out, essentially, not for Lombe. Obviously, he's the minority, but for the majority, the way they're seeing it is he needs to produce this trophy to save his job, essentially. So it's a 50-50. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the summer anyway. I think regardless, just putting sort of bants aside and just being realistic, even if you guys do get knocked out today, for example, Arteta's still going to keep his job. You're still going to have situation. Yeah, he's going to keep his job, and that's the project. So they're not going to give up on the project, essentially. So
I think no matter what happens, today they're going to give him until I would say December next season.
Next
sort of
season,
like
yeah.
Christmas time, which again is not is his fault. Like Lombe said, it's not his fault that he's not doing as well as Arsenal should be. But like, what else is he supposed to do here? What like this is a club that their owners are not invested in. That this guy is happy to finish eighth. Like Lombe said, if you want to win titles, you don't appoint Arteta for his work experience essentially because he's never done a job before. At least like people like Pep Guardiola when he was given the Barcelona job, he coached that the Barcelona B team like at a high level as well. It's not just like a under 20 level, under 23. Like this is like we're talking about the second league of Spanish football. That itself takes a lot. So I don't know, man. But what no matter what, this is it. This season, it's a make or break for them.
And then on top of that, it goes back to what I said earlier. Like I feel like, I reckon you may be right. If we lose this game, they might still keep him in charge. But it goes back to what I said about the fans. If Arteta loses this game, the switch, I'm telling you, it's gonna crank like aggressively. It's gonna get stuck. Like I'm telling you, Arsenal fans are gonna be like, nah. Basically, you're telling me we finished ninth and did nothing. That's an Arsenal fan's explanation, but I'm more like, bruv, I'm just trying to look at the bigger picture. The reason why I've been saying the summer is because regardless of what manager we get, especially if it's a good one, you can't disrespect him by giving this crop of players. Like if you gave Ancelotti this, right? It's without Partey, no Smith Rowe at the beginning, no Odegaard. Just this team that we had at the beginning. What are you doing with El Neni, Ceballos, Xhaka, and Willock? Someone tell me who's capable of managing that to top 4, top 6, or whatever dreamland people are living in, bruv. I'm telling you, it's mad. But anyway, since
the game is about to start now. The game is about to start now. So, what's your prediction? I want to hear your prediction finally.
My prediction for the day. Oh. Bruh. I'm gonna say 1-1. Not enough.
1-1, yeah. Okay.
1-1, not enough. We'll get an early goal. They'll score late on after the 60th minute. We'll be crushing. We'll have a late surge, but then ultimately won't be enough.
What about
Unai Emery's going to be like, running down, doing the Mourinho slide in the suit.
Unai Emery and Thomas Tuchel has the weirdest celebrations, man. They really annoy me on the slides.
Literally, Unai with his 3-piece suit, his cardigan under his fucking blazer.
Oh man,
I can see it coming.
Good evening.
He's doing this all the
time. He's a brilliant coach though. But Trey, will United players be affected by what happened from the protests and all of that? Would any of that get into their heads? And Roma players, would they use that? Is there any doubt about this result today?
No doubts at all. It's pretty much just the boys scoring out there, finishing the job. Oli said it today during the presser, is that he's going to treat this like any other game. So it's just straightforward. Do you know what I mean? So in my opinion, I think he's just going to, just seeing the lineup is a strong one. So it looks like he's just trying to build momentum, just get the job done. And second half, throwing some of the kids to enjoy the experience at the Stadio Olimpico, of course. So, it should be nice. I do expect to see the likes of Twanzebe, Diallo as well, somehow sort of being involved in this game. And just a few of our young stars, man. Just give them a run about.
Yeah.
I've just seen some news as well. I've just seen some news as well. It's a bit of a strange one anyway, but it's lingering. But Pogba, he's saying he's happy. He's happy. So, hey, soon I'm expecting him to sign that contract very soon, so he could continue to focus right now, man.
Do you know what I say that PP stands for? Not Paul Pogba, but it's a funny one, man. But the guy's. He's happy 1 minute, he's unhappy another minute. He's happy 1 minute, no, I'm not happy. But let's see how long this will last, Carry on.
Yeah, no, it's one thing you got to obviously understand, and this is sort of getting to another subject, is that man like Raiola is the most powerful person in this sort of football world.
Yeah,
He
but
can
you're the
say what he
player. This guy
wants.
works for you. You pay him, right? Like this guy is yours. He's your.
That's
He works for you at the end of the day.
yeah.
So whatever
In yeah,
Pogba wants at the end of the day is gonna happen. If he wants him
it's
to leave
true.
him alone and be
It's
dedicated to his
true.
club, then he's gonna
I
be.
agree. I agree with you. In the real world, in that world,
Yeah.
100% agree with you. But in Raiola's world, it's a completely different thing for his players. He has control over his players. He has control over what he says to the media. Because I actually found something out through just doing research, just doing research online, is that Pogba half the time doesn't even know what Raiola's saying out to the media. He just finds out from his
I
mates
find that
and
hard to
stuff like
believe.
that.
I find that hard to believe, honestly,
I
because
find that
this is your
very hard
agent.
to believe.
Pogba is
And
part
also,
of the game. He's part of the game just as much as Mino Raiola is. Like, I don't want to hear
and
any of
and
this.
and also Trey, yeah. Imagine Pogba if Pogba wants to shut down what Raiola's saying, you literally come up to him and be like, Raiola, I beg you, please stop talking on my behalf.
And
End
he
of
will
story.
say no.
Done.
He will say no.
Yeah, because really and
Say no.
truly, yeah. What you mean no? Like
Or if he
would say
says
no.
no, yeah. If he says no, then you
if he
leave
says-
him just like Lukaku did. Lukaku left him, right? He dropped him.
Yeah.
And he's got a new agency now. Come
Like,
on. Think
I-
about
Yeah,
that.
honestly,
he's dealing with a bigger agencies. We're dealing with Rock Nation. It's a completely different situation.
Would Pogba not be able to attract a bigger agency than what Mino Raiola is? Come on.
No,
Mino
100%.
Raiola does not want to drop Pogba because Pogba is come on, is Paul
And
Pogba.
Pogba doesn't want to
Ibrahimovic.
drop. He doesn't want to drop Mino Raiola. He's obviously done some
But
things
why
for
do you need
Pogba.
him? Why do you need? Because you build your brand now. You've built this brand where I want to see if you truly are happy at United and if you really are dedicated at United as you say, as you claim to be, yeah, then I want to see you dropping this guy who disrespected the club so much that he offered you to go to Man City and Pep Guardiola.
Truth.
That is disrespectful,
truth.
man.
That
Come
is
on, you can't be
literally
doing that. And
that
I'm
is
telling you,
literally why
if United
that's
go
literally
through
why Fergie left to go.
if United
Literally
go through
exactly
any
that.
bad period, yeah. If United go through any bad period, you're gonna see Pogba turn around and saying like, "Oh, I'm unhappy. Or why am I being benched?" Just because he doesn't understand that sometimes this position is not best for you, so I'm gonna bench you. This game is not best for you. I'm gonna bench you. Just like we've seen against RB Leipzig, that crucial game that we had. His agent is coming out saying Pogba is unhappy. This is the poor Pogba story. It's all part of it. Carry on.
Me personally, obviously, I'm not disagreeing with what you guys say. For me, in the near future, what I would want is for Pogba to drop Raiola as an agent, and he should just focus and do his own thing. Because the way I see it, Pogba just wants to play football. He doesn't care about all this PR business and the media and all of this. Half the time, he just wants to focus on the football. So for me, he just needs to focus on that.
Yeah.
United just need to do their part and move forward. And that's
He'll
it,
stay.
man. It's
I
that
reckon
simple.
he'll stay. I reckon he will
as
stay.
well. I don't see
I
Real
don't know.
Madrid.
No. I do think that he's going to stay. I do think that. And you know, the moment I realized that was back in December, actually, when everybody was talking about him leaving, blah blah blah. But I've seen a change in him. I've seen a change to him in his attitude, the way he plays the game, and the way Oli somehow seems to have used him sort of like on the right or on the left wing. So there is understanding finally. But also, let's not kid ourselves here. The main reason he's staying for is because it's a pandemic market. Nobody has the money to sign Paul
That's
Pogba.
another
Nobody
big
has the
factor.
money to sign him. Come on,
course,
let's be honest
100%.
here.
100%.
But then, how long is left in his contract as of the summer?
1 year, 1 year. If he doesn't sign
year.
now, by the end
If
of
he
next
doesn't
season,
sign
he
now,
will
he can
be
go for
working for
free.
free.
Yeah, so that there is now that's the Raiola fact. That's the factor that Raiola is gonna be like in his brain about like, yo, what do you want to do?
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this. Yeah.
Tell me
Let me tell
now
you about
because
this.
yeah,
Yeah. Like Donnarumma, yeah, is AC Milan. The guy came through 16 years of age, and now he's about to join Juventus. He's going to join Juventus in the summer. Why? Because his agent is Mino Raiola. The guy is only what? He's not even 22 years old yet, and he's already on so much money that he wants to be on like 12 million, 15 million, 10 million. Where do you get the courage to even ask that? You don't ask that unless your agent is Mino Raiola. Come on, man. Like, this is a club that's finally about to go places. Like, AC Milan is rebuilding. And the first thing you're going to do is jump ship and go to Juventus.
That's why I can't believe that Arteta managed to convince Aubameyang, Saka, and Martinelli to stay. That is like, whew, thank goodness Raiola ain't their agent, to be fair, but that is like, even Wenger failed to do that with a couple of our players, you know.
Absolutely.
That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I honestly, Troy, I agree with you. I do think that he's happy. And one of the main reasons that he's also working out right now is because Ole has been able to separate two things. He has been separated to Mino Raiola, just completely shut him out. He doesn't even talk about him in the media. He doesn't even mention him because he's thinking, me mentioning you is just going to make you big. I'm not even going to go down to your level, yeah? I'm going to deal with the player that I know from young age, that I've coached in the reserves, that I know is a good kid. I'm going to make him the player that he wants to be, the high performing Paul Pogba. And it's working because Pogba and Ole somehow they seem to have this kind of relationship. And I can't see him being happy. But it's like saying, how much is he going to sign for now? How much is he going to sign? Because he's really going to force the club, right? Like that new contract is going to be huge.
380k. It's going to be more than De Gea's. It's probably 380k, I reckon.
Yeah,
just over De Gea. But
I can see 450,000 easily.
You know what? Like, this is one of the things you guys need to understand in business as well. Like, Pogba, in terms of his commercial and social value, is worth it. It's a different level. So whatever you pay this guy, you'll get back in returns. You'll get back in returns. Let's not kid ourselves. Commercial value, even in my mind, you see the United top, what's the sponsor? Adidas, right? Yeah. What's Pogba sponsored by? Adidas as well. Yeah. Do you not think they're going to make some sort of contribution towards this? It is a whole...
I'm not worried. No, honestly, I'm not worried about how they're going to spend the money. Yeah. But I just want players to obviously. This is the generation that we live in. Maybe I'm too old for this game, man.
Old school, man. We're old school. The back in the days of when players sit down with their agents and says, "Look, mate, you work for me." Those days are gone. We went from Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes not having agents to now you're seeing kids from young age are having agents. David Beckham didn't even have an agent in attendance when he was signing his first contract with Alex Ferguson. His dad was there. So Alex Ferguson told him how much he's going to be earning. Think about that. 100%. And nowadays, you know what's so funny? Sorry to cut you off, Ron. Nowadays, you know the sort of brilliance of some of our ex-managers, so Wenger, Ferguson. One of the things that they used to do, which now is called tapping, is if they're interested in a player, for example, meet the player, talk to the player. They're not convincing the player, but they're just saying, hey, look, I'm interested in you. Think about it, son. Because that's one of the things that Ferguson used to say to players that he was interested in. He would call them son. Respect them in that sort of manner.
Go to your parents' house.
Yeah. But a lot of people now call that tapping. But that's just, for me, that's you're building a relationship.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons why, like, this is even just sort of dragging on. That's why I'm so happy that Ed Woodward is out of our club or going to be out of our club, because this was the same guy that was negotiating and trying to get the deals. You can't send a finance man to do this. Like, I'm just trying to get people to understand that logic. It doesn't work that way.
I missed that. You know, Wenger having dinner with people's Parents, mate. Imagine
Parents.
imagine your Marge seeing Wenger there, like she'll be gassed. Are you mad? He's a well player, Luke.
Probably
Luke,
sold.
sign
You
yourself.
signed the contract from them.
That's it.
But
That's it. You signed it right there. Yeah.
Last thing I was gonna say, right, with regards to Pogba, the only dangerous aspect of this, trust me, I'm a traumatized individual with this one, If you sign Pogba up to a 400k upwards contract, right? I promise you, unless this guy is motivated to the core, his attitude better not change, because I've seen it with Mesut Ozil. You've seen it when Sanchez was literally top 3 best players in the league came to you, right? On the 400, well, I don't even forget what the wages it was. Ridiculous.
500k or something like that.
If you're paying a player that much, right? The only player I can think of to thrive with that is literally the top 2, Ronaldo and Messi. So just to put that into perspective, if you're giving those numbers to Pogba and Bruno Fernandes is still outperforming him, and on top of that his performance drops, you're gonna have
how much would Bruno ask for?
That's the thing. You know what? We don't know. We don't know. But one thing that I did hear, and it's part of sort of the negotiation power with Bruno, is Bruno said he's not signing anything unless Pogba signs. So he's obviously trying his best to try and make something happen there. And look, I'll pay them both whatever they like at the end of the day. Even with Pogba, for example, I agree with you. But for me, the reason why I feel that his motivation is not going to change is because the environment that we're in now is a completely different situation to where it was before. Do you know what I mean? He can see that there's something that we're trying to do, especially with this Europa League campaign and the way we've performed in the league as well, and the way we're attacking teams. Yes.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Trey. But I'm more talking about like that. That's true, isn't it? But every player that signs a contract is thinking that. Same thing with Ozil. Same thing with whatever. Ozil didn't sign us purely for money. I'm sure at that point he was thinking, okay, it's a good way here. I can be a leader, blah, blah, blah. But then things just happen. Like you have one bad performance on them sort of wages that fans start talking. And you know with Pogba, you know with that lightning rod that he is, like one bad performance on 400k a week. And then Bruno Fernandes is doing the business. And it's like, I'm just talking about them little things like that you're not even gonna, you're gonna be thinking, I don't care. Like we've got Pogba here. But like week on week is just gonna keep manifesting unless perfect. I'm telling you, 400k is a lot of wages. I'm telling you. I'm not even trying to be funny by saying that.
No, you're spot on. Week in, week out, Pogba is always scrutinized. He's never left alone. If he's playing, even now, yes.
Now imagine Raiola, all the antics that Raiola's done. He gets the contract, and those cynical Man United fans are gonna pop their head out the bushes. You listen to Raiola now, and all that good environment that you're talking about. People, you know what I mean? The fact that Raiola's is made it all come together. It's gonna be like, we succumb to Pogba now. Do you get what I'm saying? The people will just trust me. Once that contract gets signed, if it's a man thing, you'll see what I mean.
No, it's the way he gets treated by the media, by the fans. It's really unfair because they expect so much from him. They expect him to be scoring goals, to be assisting, to be dominating games.
They expect him to be Bruno. To be honest, literally, that's what I expect from him.
Bruno
goals and assists all over the place.
Bruno is
one of a kind. He's one of a kind. That's the only problem with Bruno. One thing what people need to understand, and I think we touched upon this yesterday with Ozil, is that Pogba's not that type of player, man. Pogba's just happy-go-lucky, just plays, go over the floor. He's more vibe sort of player.
So imagine giving him 400. Imagine giving him 400k a week. With that said, and then the fans that don't understand.
As a business person, this is how I'm thinking. As a business person, I'm looking at what Pogba brings to the club commercially on the commercial value. That 400 is not.
Also did the same thing. Also, it's the same thing.
It's not the same level, though, Lombe. It's not the same level in terms of marketing.
Really?
It's not the same level.
Also,
Ozil and Pogba.
Do you wanna check Ozil? Do you wanna
the Pogba brand?
Check it.
No,
check it.
Brand, the PP brand.
Check it.
The fact.
You'll be surprised. I promise you'll be surprised.
Well, in China, yeah.
Ozil.
Nah, Pogba's got his brand. You can't compare that, bro. You know
Ozil's
why?
got his own brand. Check
Let me just
Ozil's
tell you
numbers,
this.
bro. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous.
Let me just tell you this, Lombe. This will finish you, yeah? This will finish you.
Yeah.
The fact that my guy, yeah, Pogba, he signed for how much? How much did Pogba sign for? How much? How much did
89
he
mil.
sign for? We made that
Yeah.
back in a week.
Yeah.
He's got his brand now. The fact that he's wearing, during training sessions, you see him wearing his brand. People are buying his stuff.
No,
Same with
I have
Ozil.
to.
Same with
No,
Ozil.
Ozil
Different
definitely
stratosphere.
does have. No, Ozil, I have to
Yeah,
agree with you.
Ozil's
Definitely,
numbers
he
are
does have.
crazy.
He does have.
Unbelievable.
Not Pogba's level. Not Pogba's level.
Pogba's up there as well, but Mesut Ozil, I'm
He's-
sure, is right side by side with him. Like Ozil is
Side by
the numbers
side.
are, bro. The only thing that
The only
Ozil
person that's
is,
above
the only thing,
Pogba is
the only thing that
Ronaldo.
Ozil has been for the last 5 years is a brand. That's all he has been. Like I'm telling you, like bro,
He's been building his
maddening.
brand.
It's
Yeah.
maddening.
Oh my
It's
god.
maddening
Because
what Ozil
Pogba,
is.
you
He's
see
living
Pogba
next
in
to
this
the president in
generation.
Turkey, bro.
You know what? You know Pogba's level in terms of this generation, the sort of numbers and the people that he trusts is Beckham type of level. That type of level.
Same with Ozil. You think?
No, man.
Let's
Not
end.
Ozil.
We'll
Not
end this live
Ozil,
stream.
man.
We'll end this live stream.
No,
Yeah.
man.
Check Ozil. Check all of Ozil's social medias.
No,
Look what
man.
happens. Yeah. You notice Trey. Yeah. Arsenal we've got Aubameyang with his Mohican and crazy hairstyles and whatnot, but you don't see nothing coming from him or Arsenal anymore now that Ozil's left. You don't see anything in the media from Arsenal because Ozil ain't there. Like I'm telling you, watch.
All right,
Ozil's
guys,
numbers, man.
let's end it here. Let's end it here. This
Yeah.
is, you know what? Yeah, this is actually giving me a pod idea for next, guys. If you wanna get involved about this, who's got the bigger brand, Ozil or Pogba? Let's do a bit of research about this. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do a proper podcast. Maybe talk about the biggest brands of football players, like top 5. Is Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, Pogba, and Ozil in that conversation? Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Let's.
that's good.
I want to
That's good.
hear. I want to hear about that, guys. You know what?
I
It's been
hate
fun.
it as well. I hate it. I hate it with the passion. This branding in football. If you're not doing
I
the
do
business
have
on
to
the
say-
pitch, I don't care.
Yeah, I do have to say, looking at Twitter, he's got about 23 million followers, whereas Pogba has about 8 million followers. So that is something to look at. But yeah, we're gonna have to look into this properly. Do a bit of research about this, and we'll definitely do a podcast about this. Whoever that's interested in this, come and get involved. And now the game is about to start. United Arsenal.
Amen, guys.
You know what? It may be
Yes,
an all English final, just like we've seen last night in the Champions League. And guys, it's been absolute fun. So thank you so much, Trey, for joining me. It's been a blast.
There you
Phantom AFC, thank you for taking the time to join us. I know it's a really stressful time for you right now. But you've come with so much energy. I love it. As always. And Nathan Best was here before. So Nathan, thank you so much for joining us as well, because he joined us. He's about to start his work, so that's why he had to leave us. And he's a top man for taking the time to join us. And you viewers, all of you, across all social media, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, thank you so much for watching us. Get involved in the comments, like always. Like the video and subscribe for more football contents, guys. Until next time.
Pleasure as always, guys. Trey,
pleasure. In a bit, lads. In a bit.
Safe.
That's it.
All right.
Okay, we're still going live, yeah? I'm gonna end this now.